Hey, greetings everyone. I'm I'm just busy doing things here today, and I thought, well, might as well just go live, and if anyone wants to talk and send a comment, ask questions, whatever, I'm available. And at the moment, I am working on several things at the same time. Um, I'm about to calibrate that machine there, get the thing leveled. And I gotta find a file to start another print on one of those other machines. And right now I'm kind of bogged down a little bit, doing a little graphic for one of the items. And so my brain is like different places, but no one's here at the moment except me. So it's like, okay, go live, and just do something. So I've tried to click an icon here to change the text of something 7-8. And I better save this file. Files, save as. Where do I want to put this file? Not there. Not here either. Gotta think. I got so many drives on the network. Which folder, which drive do I want? Not that one. Okay, this one. This one. Okay. So let me capture the path. Copy. And paste. Boom. Okay, I can close this file for now. I mean, this program. So what I was thinking about doing is part of the thing about building up inventory and things like that. I was thinking of as I was saying yesterday, I was thinking about putting all of the items that are for one particular project into a bag and have these bags ready. So when there's an order, I just take the bag and just put it into the box. But I'm thinking, would it be useful if I put like some sort of label on the bags themselves? Marauder does a great job in just putting their items together in a Ziploc bag and just sending it out. And that's what I've been doing with my stuff too. But I'm wondering, because some items, as I get things pre-ready, okay, and I put them into the bags, I'm kind of wondering, to avoid confusion, as I assemble these bags, some of these bags are going to be incomplete with missing parts. So I was thinking, well, I'll have to go there and put a little check mark or something like that as they get done, as they get ready. No check mark means that they're not complete. But I was thinking, well, maybe how about in terms of the presentation, put some sort of little label on the bags themselves, maybe a sticker, or maybe just a folded printed paper that's stapled. The thing is that some of these items, there's instructions that are available, and so people have to go to the website to the item that they ordered, and if there's an instructions, most likely it'll be on a link that's there, and you can probably click the link and get to a PDF or something like that. So I was thinking, well, this day and age, people use cell phones, so a QR code on a label might be the smart way to do. So that means that every product should have a QR code. So I was thinking, well, that means every product should have a label on the bags that they come with. So I'm thinking things like that. It's a little bit it's another step to take, but it might be better to organize it for me, so that way I don't simply rely on the check mark to let me know that a product is complete. And in terms of the customer, they get to see information about the product on the label itself, including QR codes, maybe even on the inside, or maybe the label itself could be part of the instructions. So if it's a simple little bitty instructions, or has a little bit of information like I don't know, do not apply alcohol or something like that, something like that, because some of the items that are used for smoothing, they react with alcohol. And I know some people, and I do this when I build a fine scale model to remove any grease that's involved in the manufacturing, such as if they're removing molds, parts from a mold. Sometimes they'll apply something that will be kind of greasy, like an oil or something, to help release the item from the mold, a mold release. So what I usually do is wash the parts that I assemble in soap and water. Well, with 3D printed plastics, some of these plastics are, they absorb water, regular moisture in the air, and it causes some of the plastics to get brittle. So it's not advised to wash items with soap and water. With other items, like what we use when it comes to smoothing the plastics, some of those plastics react with alcohol. So one technique that I do for building a fine scale model is I will wash the parts with a little bit of alcohol, some rubbing alcohol. And so I'll get some a kitchen towel paper thing or something, and I'll damp it with alcohol, and I'll just rub over the parts. And but that's something you don't want to do with some of the stuff that we do. So basically the rule of thumb, if the parts you get from us is smooth, to suppress the layer line so it comes out glossy and smooth, then you don't want to apply alcohol to it, because alcohol will react and make the thing even more smooth. So it's nice to have some instructions about, caution about doing something like that. Or if you're a customizer and you want to even make your part even more smooth, then a little guidance on how much alcohol to use or when to stop, essentially, and things like that. Not everything, of course, not everything we do is glossy smooth. Some parts just print really well, and so they're smooth under their own right, but layer lines are still present. And so if you're wondering, well, which part do you get from us that should be applied with alcohol or should not, or things like that, if it's glossy smooth, then you don't want to apply alcohol or even water, really. Just wipe it with a dry cloth. So here's a part that is glossy smooth. This was printed with a regular FDM printer, But the plastics we use, we can suppress the layer lines, so you get this glossy finished touch. And this is really friendly for painting. And so a lot of our hero parts, the parts that are going to be in front of the camera, if you do toy photography, we do this type of treatment. And then a lot of the other background stuff that's not hero parts, larger props, for example, things like that, we don't do this treatment with. So with that said, what I need to do here is start the next print. But what I got to do first is level this machine. And there's a bit of filament there. Magnets are a 3D printer's worker's best friend. So if you got a 3D printer, keep some magnets handy, and then keep little tools close by. Getting a little thirsty. I may get something to drink. What should I get? Okay, so let's see. I got the screen partially covered up, but yeah, if you want to send comments, ideally do it through YouTube rather than Facebook, because I think on Facebook I have to actually go into Facebook to see the comments. I'll do that right now. It goes each point. Hold on. Just saw something on Facebook that is not good, so I gotta send a message. Okay, let's see. Back to business. I gotta go to my wall. Okay. Let's see. Okay, hopefully I'll hear feedback from the private message I just sent, and it'll ding me. If so, I may have to quickly run off. But so anyway, back to this. Okay, so this is calibrated here. This printer has a function that you can do completely manual, where it will plot points to find out if there's any uneven surface points, and it makes a little grid. And then it has a button that I just clicked on where it will raise and lower the extruder very, very small increments to kind of parallel the rises and dips in the build plate. So if the thing goes up, it's going to try to keep the same distance as it goes up and down. So it's an auto, I don't know what you call it. It's not quite auto leveling. It's I don't know, but it tries to keep itself at uh, a consistent distance all the time. So you can turn that on, and I usually do. Click this out, click out, go print, and I want to print console 2B. Okay. Now, these printers, they're very good, okay, but these printers require a lot of hands-on. And part of the issue is that they have a lot of weight on top of the bar here. And so when the machine is off, there's no tension on the stepper motors. So any vibration, jarring the table, other things, sometimes the weight begins to work down on the stepper motor. And when you turn on the machine and you start doing something, it will, even though I did the calibration just now, it still is going to be a little bit off. So you'll see me at the very beginning of each print keep a watchful eye, and if the plastic starts to not stick to the build plate, you'll see me manually lowering the extruder just a little bit until it does. Or the opposite, just if it prints too close, which is usually the case, I'll start raising the build plate. Raising the extruder just a little bit off the build plate. So you'll see me, doing this manual adjustment. And so these printers, they usually start working around 200 degrees to 10 Celsius. Right now it's 198, 199. At 205, it'll start going. 201 right now. 202, 3, 5. So now I get ready to do manual adjustments. So once it does the first few extrusions, if it looks good, then I can walk away. It's getting a little bit of junk. Clear that out. Okay. Yeah, too close. Yeah, it's coming out. It's sticking. It's good. Okay, I think I can leave this one alone. So on to the next thing. I gotta look for a file. Let's see. Let me save this project here. File, save as. But I guess I don't have to save as. I could just save. Okay. So now I'm going to close this one. Okay. So let me get my bearings. Okay, close some of these other tabs. Close this one too. Okay, where am I? I gotta I gotta go to. I'm on. I have a network drive, and so no matter what machine I am working with, I can access these files. And well, so what I got to do here though is got to go. I have to go out to my root folder. Go to the props folder. Go to the electronics and computers folder. 1/18 scale. Computers. And let's see. Consoles? No. PCs? Yes. Towers? No. I don't want to do towers. Sorry. Go back. Racks. Okay, modular racks. That's it. Now I gotta find which folder I want. Large icons. Oh, this is a project that I haven't seen in a while and I completely forgot. You guys are going to like this. Let's see. How can I do this? Load up this program here. For the noise. Looks to be printed okay. I'm loading up a program, just waiting. So that way I can see if I can make a picture and I can show you. Okay. File, okay. Okay, rebuild. Okay, better. File, save as. And am I in the right place? Yes. Save as a PDF. No. Save as a PNG. That's it. Save. Close this. No, I don't want to save. Minimize and let me get to share. Oh, better if I can just share the picture. So no, I guess I'll just double click. See what program comes up for the picture. Okay, well, let's try this. So let's see. I go share. Share screen. Window. Share. Okay. So this is another little computer thing that would probably work well with the Marauders World War II or even Vietnam figures, because it's something you could probably take out on the battlefield and have it somewhere, and you know it'll look period. So this is an older design, so I got to work on it some more and make it more updated. So I'm going to leave that up for the moment. What I need to do is continue finding the files I'm looking for. Go back to computers. Modular racks. Yeah, okay. Modular racks is probably where I wanted to go to begin with. Large icons. Yeah, this is it. Again, large icons. This is STLs here. Do I want to do 3 at a time? No. I want to do this one. Okay, copy this path. Move the window over. Get the little XD card. Okay, try that. Turn on the USB thingy. I hear noises every so often. So I'm always checking. So okay, that thing it came up. Let's see, retro tower case, monitors, modular case. Oh, you know what I did? Try this case body. Copy here. Okay, good. Now, take this, pull this out. Good. Print. Case body. Okay. So look, so that is set to print. Okay, so that's going. I also what I need to do specifically. Let me close that. What I need to do specifically is I got some items for the new VSS walls and things that I need to get back on track with to laser cut, and I need to work on that. Let's see. What I need to do here, though, is that's so weird. Okay. I need to come out, go back in. What I gotta do also is I gotta put filament in another machine out there, but I can do that tonight. So I got a long print to do, but I can't start it right now because in about 2 hours I'm gonna have to make a little errand, and then I'll be back, and then I'll be able to do uh, a long print. It's gonna be about like 5 hours, 6 hours. So I might as well change the filament then. So back to this. I got some changes I'm going to be implementing to the VSS. Before I start committing to print them, I really need to think everything through so I don't spend time reprinting. So basically, everything has to be perfect on this. But give you a little idea. What I'm trying to do with the VSS is I was giving some thought about a week ago about the thrusters and stuff like that, because at Joe Fest, seeing the thrusters all lit up looked pretty good. And when the thing is or was complete and sitting here, it also looked pretty good when the thrusters were all lit up and the room was dark, nighttime, that kind of thing. It looked pretty nice. And one thing about the VSS is that it, as a space carrier, it's not aerodynamic, so it's not going to be like flying through the air like a jet or something like that. So I was thinking, well, a number of things the VSS could hover like a helicarrier, but that means like Destro or so is going to have to make some sort of anti-gravity device and have the ship basically on anti-gravity. So I was thinking of doing something like that. But then I was thinking, well, maybe it might be a good idea. Besides anti-gravity, what if you had like some sort of booster or something like that? And so I was thinking of doing a smaller thruster unit that could be mounted along the sides of the VSS to kind of give it that engine pointing down kind of look. So I was thinking something like that. I won't need to do thrusters as large as I have here. So what I could do instead is have a smaller diameter thruster, and if it's smaller diameter, what I can end up doing is have it within the walls or close to it. In other words, I can sculpt the walls around so I have parts sticking out, and instead of looking like it's been attached to the outside like an afterthought, to make it look a little bit more like it was designed with these thrusters in mind. So I'm thinking like that. But I got some gray filament. So what I got to do is I really have to work with this machine here that's behind me and get that going. Do some black prints and then switch over to gray. But I am getting a bit thirsty. I think I'm going to get something to drink. So let's see. Okay, I'll be right back, folks. Going to get something to drink. Taking. Yeah, I can do this. Be right back. Okay. So I'm back now. Let's see. Where's my little oh boy. I have this turned off. That's why. Okay. So this printed recently. What I need to do here is clean it up. But I'll clean this up later because I gotta work on that file. So uh, so what I gotta do is come down to. So I'm working on some floors and walls, but I gotta make sure everything is going to be just the way it needs to be. I can't have any surprises, and I'm trying to design this even a bit better than before. Hmm. So this is basically my let's see, maybe I can just, if you don't mind seeing it, maybe I can just share the screen. Okay, y'all can see this, right? Okay. Yeah, so I'm trying to slowly move away from relying so much on pegs, especially on these larger. One thing that I learned on transporting the VSS to and from JoeFest is that I need a better way to disassemble the 3D printed parts, and having it with pegs requires glue. So you can see once you have stuff glued, it's not going to be easy to disassemble and all that. This is very similar to the engine room that was shown at JoeFest. What I normally showed here in the past. There's a part that goes in between these two, and in this version, I made the engine room a little bit smaller. There's a reason why, and so what I'm trying to do is think about placement with these peg holes. I'm trying to, fix all the issues that came up, make it easier to transport, easier to assemble, disassemble, and easier to add to, and easier to reconfigure, such as walls by removing a wall and putting a new one in. So if memory serves correctly, I think I was satisfied with this, since it's been a little while since I've worked with this particular design. And the reason why I am spending so much time on the floor things, because I'm going to use these canvas boards and do the experiment with that. I'm looking at another one here. I'm going to I'm just looking at the thumbnails at the moment. So this is what I was working on. And there's parts of it that I'm not quite happy with, and I have been thinking about how can I go about changing that and making it better. Mostly it's this section back here. Mostly it's this section here. So I was trying to come up with a simple modular approach. But the more I think about a modular approach, the less I am thinking of the way these floors are designed, that I'm going to have to alter that. And I was just trying to do, not as much rework. But it looks like I will have to adjust these. Let me rebuild this. Let me rebuild this section here. First, let me just go ahead and make. Let me just do that. Let me go ahead and make a screenshot, because I don't want to have a whole bunch of similar files with similar iterations. I want to basically just have one file that I know this is the file that I'm going to be adding to and all that. So save as. Okay. Well, what I can do right here, I can just suppress these parts. Well, no, this is unsuppressed. What I'll do is I'm going to redo this file. Let me just save this. I'm going to redo this file and try to organize my thoughts as I go. Frame 3.1. Okay, where's frame 3.1? Okay. File open. File new. So this is what I'm thinking. View, hide all types. Okay. First of all, I need these things here. And all this is attached. All this is attached to that. I do need to go in and alter this design, okay? So when you see it, you'll see that it's a little bit taller. That's something that I have to go back in and adjust. So that's a little thing that's holding me back from the moment from printing all that you see, is that I have to go back and adjust. But I'm wondering, should I shorten it, or should I raise these other ones to make it the same height? Which would be the advantage? So that's why I haven't adjusted this one yet. So anyway, so this is the main structure that I'm going to be working with, and I'm going to be adding to this structure. I am also trying to move away from relying on the rails, the aluminum rails. It's a good idea, but I want to have the options to use it or not to use it. I don't want to be like locked in to have to always be using the aluminum rails. Especially that I now have a machine that's capable of printing extremely long parts. That was something that I needed the rails for, because at the time I didn't have a printer that could print extremely long parts. So I needed something to help keep things straight and strong, and thus it was the rails. And it's just that with the rails, I ended up making a longer and longer structure. But instead of buying new rails, I just went with these the original size rails that I had purchased, which is about 300 millimeters long. It's about like that long. So yeah. So as I was working with the VSS, I was thinking, like, if I were to do this again, I would just use the new printer to print these long pieces and not have to do anything with rails. So let's see. Let's add another insert components. Browse. Maybe this. Oh, I should have picked the other. So this is turning out to be a recreation of the engine room here, and from that I will go forward in this direction towards the right. And the reason why I'm doing all of this is because, let me take a quick little look. Okay. Yeah, okay. So because I'm getting to the next section, which will be a wall. Let me switch to this and close it. So essentially, I'm going to have to just redo the floors the way the floors are. But I don't mind. Now is the time to do all of that. So, insert components. Let's do the same part, but on the other side. That was 4.2. Rotate these components. Okay. Zero 0.25. Okay. Look. And one more. Yeah. Okay, just this. So let me go ahead and save this then. Yeah, but I'm just going to overwrite. I'm actually thinking about a modification to this part here. You see these beams? This one here. I was thinking of putting one right here, but a special one that's angled. Or perhaps like somewhere here. Anyway, I was thinking of putting one somewhere here, going across. It will give some additional strength. But it'll have to be a little bit like a triangle, but one where it's like, what is it? What's the shape of a rhombus? Well, anyway, it'll be like you know, straight, 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 but angled here, like that. So I don't know what you call that shape. But I was thinking of something like that that can go from top beam to top beam, even all the way across. It will give strength, but it will also give a bit of aesthetics that I kind of think it should have. Yeah. So I think I will implement that into this parts design, and then I will print this. I already have these long parts here printed. I got to print these small ones next. So when I get gray filament on that machine behind me, I will start printing these smaller ones and then these larger ones. I'm also wondering if there's a better way for me to attach these parts using screws. And all I could think of is like right about here, right where the mouse is. If I can make a screw hole there, screw hole here, so that way it goes into this little square piece that's on the inside. But then I would have to change that little square piece a little bit, make it a little bit more beefier, and have the ability to put like a nut on the inside, so that way the screw can go into the nut. I'm kind of already doing that approach. You see these little notches? That was something that I was working on for it. You don't see it anywhere else, but So 3D printing is very, very amazing, and you can really optimize a design and go back and change that design and optimize it in a different way and see the results. And what I'm trying to do is work on making this thing easier but strong, durable, easy to disassemble, transport, reassemble, and be strong at the same time. And let's see. So this part here, this area here, from this side, going forward towards the right, I am going to add a wall section to this. So this entire part here, is going to be thicker, only because it'll have more of these beams next to each other. But it's going to be a wall. And what I would like to do with the wall is to make it modular. So all I would have to do is remove the wall, and I have a different style that I can put in. So basically the wall is going to have to be a little modular piece. So it is going to have to be a little bit thick, because basically it's going to be a frame, and then you're going to have some other material, some other plastic or something, wood, even acrylic, for different things, a window, things like that. And then you're going to have another frame to kind of sandwich that and keep that wall part in the middle. So it is going to be a little bit thicker. And I think the smart way would be to make it unique, a unique frame. So in other words, not to simply take these particular frames that I have here and then just use them again and again, but to have something a bit better designed for the wall. So let me take a quick look at the walls that I have. Extra large icons. Let's see. So this is one wall that I worked on, reusing the same beams that you saw with in the other window. So this was just a quick solution. But I really can't rely on this particular solution, not like this. But I put this there because I need to know the overall shapes that I'm going to be dealing with when I do these walls. So this was basically a template. Let's see if there's any comments. Oh, no comments. Okay. So I'm thinking. See, I also have to think how I'm going to print those beams that will support the wall. Because it's got to be printer friendly. It feels good to relax like this a little bit. I feel like if I close my eyes, I can just go to sleep. Okay, yeah, I am a little bit tired. This particular wall, I was thinking of supporting the wall part with little L brackets that I can print and attach. And that's good for a very thin wall, but in this case, I want something that's going to be more modular. I guess, let me show you what I mean. There's a way to attach let's see. Let me see what I have. Okay, here's an idea. Let me get back to the screen. So this is one beam from the VSS, and this was going to make a grid to support the lighting. So the way this worked is that I had these pieces printed, and I had a small piece, a little connector that would fit into this, and then it would have another piece like this that would just fit on the other side of the connector, and I can make really long pieces. And then I can just change the direction, and just all I had to do was just change the connector, and I could have the connector go off in a 90-degree or a 45-degree or do some other thing with it to change the direction. Anyway, I was thinking maybe I could have this type of structure. I could make a frame that has this type of structure built in, so that way I could just slide a wall and connect it. Would it be strong? See, this is where the walls get tricky, because ideally what I should have is you have an outer frame, you got the other side of the frame, and then you have the wall frame inside, and then you have the wall structure that goes inside that. So that way the frame can maintain strength all on the outside, just like everything else. And then all you have to do is just worry about just changing the interior of the wall part. That will be the ideal. Maybe I can make that frame on either side like a big U, so it's only like this, and then I can have the inside with something like these groove things, and I can just slide a wall piece in. Yeah, that might be the better way to do. Then it's just a matter of cosmetics to make it look like, to make it look, complete, like it's not about. Well, even sliding the thing might be a good aesthetic. So let me go back to SolidWorks, take a look. So in other words, what I would have to do is make a modification to these beams, this top beam here. Make it so one side is normal, like what you see, so that way it's compatible to connect to things like this on this side. Then this side, make it a little bit different, so I can slide the wall piece in there. Maybe this is not a bad idea for this wall here. Maybe I don't have to do all of that work. Maybe I could just do something like this, and then with the original idea of using L brackets. But I think I will have to alter. Maybe I need to make this thicker, so that way there's more surface material for the L brackets to attach to. Well, all of this can be adjusted, because the way I'm doing this, the VSS, is to be very modular. So if this design gets changed, then I can simply change that particular area and swap it out. Okay, so Let me just save this, but let me see. I think what I'm going to have to do is make this thicker. So that means I'm going to, so what do I want to make thick first? I think I should make thicker this beam first. And let's see how things look before I do all of that. Insert components. The print is coming along nicely. I don't know why it looks a little bit bigger, but oh well. This print is also coming along nicely. I need to print some legs for the consoles. I gotta use that printer there. That's the one that kind of oozes. So I'm not extremely. I have to replace that printer. Okay, so I'll make this. I want to give a little 0.25. I'm going to have to change this when I get the parts that I'm going to adjust. So in the meantime, I'm just doing the lazy way of connecting everything. So this is the way the engine room is going to kind of be. I say kinda. I think the important thing is working out the structures of these beams. I can print most of these beams right now because I feel satisfied with how it's coming along. Like I said, this little beam is the next one I need to print, and I'm thinking that I need to adjust this. I need to make maybe a triangular looking part here. I'm just thinking. See, making an adjustment, what I probably would do is eliminate this bar that's going across. Bar. Eliminate this shape that's going across right here. Open this up so it comes across. Keep all of this open. And then just add a vertical line. Yeah. Something like that. So that wall is subject to change. It's going to change because I need to do it a little bit better. But for now, as a placement, so I can kind of focus on the rest of the engine room, that this is good. This is good enough for now. I'm beginning to think too, to keep the part strong, there's no easy way to make it modular. It's going to take effort to undo. So it's not going to be like here's a wall, just snap it into place. It's not going to be that simple. It'll be like here's a wall, screw it into place, and if you want to change it, make sure you have a screwdriver, things like that. It's not going to be just simple. It's not going to be as simple as open a tab and remove. Now, maybe if the wall had smaller components, then yeah, I can see that. But until then, So, anyway. Yeah, it's going to have to be a little bit thicker. This is going to be a little bit thicker. Maybe half as thick as it is now. Just increase about 50% more. Yeah. So there's no getting around having to do multiple parts and new parts like these L brackets, for example. But the reason why I wanted to get all of this done here first is because I need to think about the floors. And so this is where I'm going to do, okay, it's already saved. That's good. This is where I'm going to do my little techniques here of doing a cutaway. Okay. And so now I have the bottom exposed. So it'd be easier for me to draw a sketch on top of all of this. So what I'll do is I make a sketch here. I'm going to say sketch. It's going to give me a little message. I can just ignore it. And then I'm going to that's the bottom. I need the top view. Okay, something like that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to okay. This is a little bit on the tricky side because I need to think that I'm going to have okay, the shape is at 45 degrees. Okay, so I have the bottom part, and then I have a 45-degree shape, and then it goes vertical at 90. So I'm going to have the floor, obviously, down here. But also, I'm going to have a part that's going to go on the 90-degree section. And that is going to have a thickness. So what am I going to have there? I'm not sure yet. So the floor is going to have the floor's thickness as an experiment. Will be one of these. It's about 3 millimeters, which is good because that's about the thickness that I have the original VSS stuff designed for. And then on top of that, I have styrene. Will this material handle styrene being glued on top of it? I think it will. Yeah, I think it will. So let's see, do I make it 10 inches? Yeah. So let me get back to the orientation again. Computer, convert 10 inches into millimeters.
10 inches is 254 millimeters.
254. Okay. So all this is just as a guide right now. Well, let me do this. Let me do this. Well, yeah. So right here. 254, huh? So let's try it right there. Okay, then I select this. Let's say 254. Okay. And so do it again. Two five four. So that's about 254. Okay, 254. Copy. Oh, I can't paste it. I could just. So let me grab this line, select this point. 254. Okay. Two five four again, and then just down here. So well, this is where things. This is in terms of keeping things compatible to the original VSS. I had a piece in the middle, so I wasn't too worried about uh, something like this where there's a big gap. But from the new parts, all going forward, the floors will be well. It's going to be 10 inches, I think. So in other words, I'll do this bit better. But for the moment, this is how these parts are for compatibility's sake with the first version. So what I want to do here is I want to get some circles. Because one thing that's different with this is that I now have screw holes. So basically I'm going to mark where the screw holes are. I'll do the same thing for the pegs. Hmm, that's it, huh? Okay. Then let's do the pegs. Well, I think I'm going to have to start getting ready to run that errand I had mentioned before at the beginning. So I'm just going to get to a stopping point right after this, and then I'll just continue later. Now, do I want to make these? I don't know. Here's something that's going to be, I'm going to have to think about. These peg placements are wider than these over here. Do I want to keep them that way? Can I bypass this? I'll think about that. Maybe I can bypass because here's another set of where pegs would be. In other words, I don't have to really put pegs everywhere. Okay. What I want to do is get these floors laser cut. Maybe tonight. See, I'm in the mood for getting the VSS out again. Kind of thinking a little bit about next year's Joe Fest. Oh, by the way, so yeah, has there been any feedback with private message? No. Okay. Now with that done, what I can do is I don't have to do this right now, but what I can do is simply make some lines. I could do this later, but oh, so there's another set. So this is what I'll do for, especially for later. I'll take this. I'll just draw a line here as a marker. Yeah. And what I will do is that I should be able to, first of all, let me go ahead and make like a center point. And then I'll copy this and I'll move it to a separate file. And then I will extrude it. So let me go ahead and copy this. It's going to give me a little message, I think. Yep. Yes, because it's only copied the sketch. It's not copying the actual objects in the background that the sketch is overlapping. So it gives me that warning. You know, not everything is copyable. Do you want to continue? Let's see. So I go File, New, Part. And the reason why I did it with such a gap in between on the floor, because I was going to put another piece inside, in between, and I knew I was going to have other things to give it strength. But at the moment, when I go to the next sections of the VSS, it's going to be a little bit more controlled, and so I won't have that. I shouldn't have that situation anymore. File. Okay, so file, new, everything. Okay, so top, go to sketch, and then paste. Okay. Just want to make sure this is a straight line. Okay, 0. No angles involved. What I can do here too is remove these circles, because I don't have to do them copy once I paste these. So I'm going to paste it, but I'm going to grab it from here. I could also do a mirror and mirror the pieces. That might be the better way, because I do need to, yeah, I would have to mirror. So, because I do need to make these things, to complete these things. Okay. So what I can do is make a mirror. There's the center point. Okay. So So making a mirror off of this would be the smarter way. So what I do is I select that, then I select that. There, look at that. Done. Make another center line here. Because what I want to do here is I am thinking as I was getting this ready for mirroring. Copy. I was thinking what I can do is I can suppress this by putting it as a construction line, which is ignored. I'm going to grab it from the right side. So what I can do is that I can go here, I can go extrude, and I can say 3 millimeters. Okay. Come on, do it. I don't know why it's going slow. Maybe because I had all sorts of other programs running before I started. So, you know, things got launched into memory that just hasn't cleared, maybe. So you go sketch. Paste this. Grab it from there, move it to here. So now I could do a separate cut. And so if I ever decide to adjust or remove these little holes, I would just simply turn off or on and not have to go back in and alter a sketch here and there. So I'll go features, extruded cut, and I say up to the surface. So that way, if I ever make this thicker or thinner, it will automatically cut all the way through if I tell it to go from surface to surface. So this is surface. Then I wait for tomorrow. Okay, finally it's done. Yeah. File, save. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to put let's just say floor. Floor style 1, and then a little revision 1-1. Then I say save, and then there's a part that's sticking up. I need something to cut. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let's see. So I'm thinking of what I should do is make these screw holes over here as well, even though it's not on the beams. So that way what I can do is just simply laser cut just one of these, and I can use it for the left or the right side of the ship without having to like flip anything. Because if the holes are over here, and this is let's say for the port side, and I move it to the starboard side, I'll have to flip, and so the holes are over here. But these things are they have a textured surface on one side and then a regular cardboard on the other. I wonder if this would actually work. So and this might not even work. This idea may not even work because it's got canvas material that's folded over, and that fold might cause problems. But anyways, so I can't just simply flip these things around. So let's see, we're going to go to sketch. Yeah, I'm going to have to wrap it up. I already have that as the middle line here. So what I need to do, let's see, I just want to verify it's the middle line. Yeah, it's going to have another. Okay, so I can have a middle line there. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this. Well, I'm going to select all of this. And then I'm going to select this line. Let's say mirror. It did it right there. Then I go OK. And there it is. Maybe ideally I should keep it with wood. Okay. This is a good stopping point. Oh, so you can see what I'm doing. Let's go back to the previous assembly. Then we go to assembly, we go insert components. Come on, insert components. Floor style 1. Put that there. And remember, I have a cutaway view. So most likely it arrived inside the cutaway area. So let's turn that off. There it is. No, it's below the cutaway area, but so okay, we take this, we go mate. We want to select that surface, offset it by 0.25, select this surface, okay, and then see which direction. Okay, we want it up. Then we go mate's already there. Okay, then we go let me select that screw hole to this screw hole. Okay, and that screw hole to this screw hole, and that's it. So then what I'll do next would be to do the styrene layer, and then apply the styrene to this part, and then I would have an approximate thickness. I can also physically measure what I did before, since the measurements are still basically the same, 3 millimeters. and still get an approximation because I still have to consider the way the canvas is folded over. And then I'll have an idea of how this part would be. You know, this is going to be interesting. What I don't want to do is make one side of this piece smaller. You know, if anything, I would have to make both sides, like here and here, a little bit less than 10 inches. So to consider thickness of these parts going in. This one I'm thinking of 3D printing a long piece. That would be the easiest way. And what I would do is, from this view, so I was working on upside down the whole time. Yeah, I was working upside down. Okay, I'll have to flip that. So sorry, I'll have to flip that. Silly me. Okay, so anyway, what I will have to do is let's go back to it. Make a sketch part here. Make it out about 3 millimeters, and then down, and then from there, I could do the adjustments on this and make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, I think that might be the best way to do. With the previous version of the VSS, when I got to this point, I made this 45-degree part variable, so I was making it smaller and smaller. But as I was adding styrene and then a layer of ABS plastic, this part was getting thicker and thicker, and so everything that I was doing here was just getting in the way, and so I ended up having to redesign it with make the sides a little bit smaller each time, to like 3 or 4 times, 3 or 4 iterations before I settled with what I came out with. So to avoid all of that, I'm going to change the approach and make the floor part the variable, so I can change the floor and not change this thing. Anyways, okay, good. No, I'll redo that floor part upside down, huh? Okay. Okay, folks, I'm going to save this. And I'll take a look to see if there's any comments before I shut down completely. Okay, no comments. And take a quick look on Facebook. No comments. Okay. Okay, folks. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all later. All right. Thanks.